Here's the problem with most coding agents today. They make one LLM call per tool call. Need to read a file? That's a round trip. Write a file? Another round trip. Run a test? Another one. A simple bug fix can burn through 6 or more LLM inferences before it's done. That's slow and it's expensive. Talaria fixes this. It's a self-hosted coding agent that uses something called code mode to cut LLM round trips by 60 to 80%. Instead of calling one tool at a time, the LLM writes a TypeScript script that orchestrates all the tool calls at once. The name comes from the winged sandals of Hermes. Speed through fewer round trips. Let me walk through the architecture. The whole system is 4 Docker containers. First, Postgres, stores sessions and events. Second, the server. Built with Hono, it's a REST API, a WebSocket hub for the agent, and an SSE broadcaster for the UI. Third, the React UI, a Vite-built SPA served by NGINX. And fourth, the agent daemon, a headless node process running on Ubuntu 24.04 with Git, ripgrep, and Build Essential installed. Same tools a human engineer would have. The key design choice, the agent is outbound only. It initiates a WebSocket connection to the server. It exposes 0 ports. The container boundary is the permission system. Communication flows 3 ways. The agent pushes events up to the server via WebSocket. The server streams them to the UI via SSE, and the UI talks back to the server over REST. Getting it running is 3 commands. Clone the repo, copy the env file, add your Anthropic API key, and Docker compose up. All right, let's see it in action. This is the UI at localhost 5173. Right now we have a clean session list. Nothing running yet. I'll click New Session. We get a prompt field and a model selector. The models available are Claude Sonnet 4.6, Claude Opus 4.6, GPT 5.4, and GPT 5.3 codecs. These are all 2026 generation frontier models, 79% or higher on SWE bench. The quality gap between these and 2025 models for agentic coding is immediately obvious. For the prompt, I'll type, create a resume/portfolio site in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I'll leave the model on Sonnet 4.6 and hit Start Session. We're automatically taken to the session detail page, and events are streaming in. Here we go. The green dot says the session has started. The agent's thinking, you can expand these to see its reasoning, but I'll leave them collapse for now. Now here's where it gets interesting. See that violet card? That's a code mode script. Instead of making individual tool calls, the agent wrote a single TypeScript script that does all of it. That whole sequence happened in a single LLM inference. A traditional tool calling agent would have needed 6 or more round trips for the same task. Let me explain what just happened. In traditional tool calling, the LLM makes one inference, gets one tool result, makes another inference, gets another result, and so on. Multiple steps, multiple round trips, multiple sets of input tokens. Code mode flips this. The LLM writes a TypeScript script where tools like read file, write file, and execute command are available as async functions. That script runs locally inside the sandbox. All the tool calls execute without going back to the LLM. Results come back as a single batch. The agent runs in hybrid mode. It uses direct tool calls for simple, single-step things, and switches to code mode for complex, multi-step operations. The LLM decides which approach to use. And here's the economic kicker. Because code mode cuts round trips by 60 to 80%, frontier models like Opus 4.6 at the higher price point actually cost less per task than mid-tier models using traditional tool calling. Better model, lower cost. All tool operations go through a sandbox provider interface. Right now, it's Docker local sandbox, which wraps the file system and child_process inside the agent container. But the interface is pluggable. You can swap providers by changing an environment variable. No tool code changes. The agent container itself runs Ubuntu 24.04 with a full development toolchain, Git, ripgrep, build essential, and the workspace is mounted at /workspace with the sample project preloaded for demos like the one you just saw. Future providers could delegate to Modal for remote VMs, Daytona for managed workspaces, or anything else that implements those 5 methods. So that's Talaria. Self-hosted coding agent. Code mode for 60 to 80% fewer LLM round trips. Pluggable sandbox. Real-time streaming UI. Clone the repo. Add your API key. Docker compose up. That's it.